Diddy freak off party explained. I don't even know how this is gonna work.
Invited to a party hosted by none other than famous rap mogul Puff Daddy. It's gonna be an extravagant gala and definitely going to skyrocket your social media following. But when you get there, it's just Diddy and a few of his close friends looking like plankton in his basement dungeon.
Getting some freaky
you're
vibes.
being told to take a bottle of lube to a private room to prepare yourself, all while Diddy licks his lips and looks at you, whispering to himself, "I was in one bedroom, dreaming of a million. Now I'm in beach houses, cream to the ceiling."
Why are they so specific? Wait. Why is this? What kind of inside knowledge does these got? What is this so specific?
One bedroom, dreaming of a million. Now I'm in beach houses, cream to the ceiling. As you're about to find out, one of Puff Daddy's most famous lyrics could have been quite literal.
Oh,
bottles of lube.
I don't know that
very
lyric.
Large aquarium. This was the shocking discovery inside of one of Puff Daddy's homes after a federal search warrant was executed against him. And all of that lube? Well, it was meant to be used by some of your favorite celebrities in what Diddy called freak-off parties. Try to picture 1,000 bottles of lubricant. Odds are you're not picturing enough. At 12 fluid ounces each, Diddy's freak-out lube stash would be almost enough to completely fill a 100-gallon fish tank. So why did Diddy need enough lube to create a slip and slide that could stretch across the entire length of a movie theater, from the lobby to the front screen? And we mean that literally. 1,000 12-ounce bottles equals about 93 gallons, which would let you cover a slip and slide 6 feet wide and around 630 feet long with 1 millimeter of personal lube.
A lot of damn lube, man.
Surface area of almost 350 meters. At Diddy,
I mean, like, there's a lot of people at the parties, right? And if everyone is attending the freak off, I don't even think you'd have enough lube for every person. There's probably more than 1,000 people that are in the freak offs. No. Probably 1,000 people come to the party, and like 30 people stay for the freak off. Realistically, right? I don't even think everybody knows about the freak off. It's probably like a VIP thing. You know what I'm saying? You probably gotta say a safe word to a certain security guard, and then he notifies Diddy that you would know about the freak off, and then boom, that's how you get in every time.
Diddy's movie theater or a total surface area of almost 350 meters. At Diddy's movie theater, you could slide in the front door on a cushion of sex lube, whiz by the concession stand for your popcorn and soda, and then slide into your front row seats right by the big screen. And what's playing in Diddy's theater? Well, one of his personal home movies, but more on that soon. First, let's talk about enough lube to drown an elephant seal. Americans buy in bulk, as we know, and there's a Costco right down the street. These are actual statements from P. Diddy's lawyer in response to the discovery of 1,000 bottles of lubricant and baby oil at Diddy's home.
Jesus.
While it is true that Americans enjoy bargain shopping from big box stores,
Not
most Americans also
baby
don't
oil.
need enough lubricant to fully insert a Minuteman intercontinental ballistic missile into a missile silo that is a little nervous because this is their first time. The public discovery of Diddy's freak-off parties come alongside startling revelations from the numerous criminal cases against him. In 2023, Sean John Combs, aka P. Diddy, aka Diddy, aka Puff Daddy, aka Lube Daddy, aka P. Slip and Slide, aka Federal Defendant Number 1, saw his entire career unwind with allegations that he had abused and exploited former girlfriend Cassandra Ventura, also known as Cassie. He was 37 years old and she was just 19 when they first met. Quickly making her financially and career dependent on him. At these freak-off parties, it's alleged that he forced Cassie to perform acts on others against her will. The case would be settled out of court without the terms of the settlement being publicly revealed. However, it's likely that this included a very large financial compensation.
But look, realistically, chat, if Cassie didn't become as famous as she did, I don't think we would have found any of this out. Right? Like if she didn't become a big name that everyone knew, and it was some, like, no disrespect, but like no one, because this has probably happened to a bunch of women in his house, like a person that's just not, you know, a celebrity. They always find out, but how much longer would it have taken? Right? He could have been 60 by then. Bill Cosby, like he could have been Mad time passing, dude. Mad time passing before somebody said something, man. Because when it's hard to deny it when like you're casting, dude. You made hits like
revealed. However, it's likely that this included a very large financial compensation. There's no word on compensation for Diddy blowing up Kid Cudi's car after he became enraged to discover that Cudi had been dating Cassie. Given how much lube Diddy had on hand, getting his car blown up was the least of Cudi's worries. But Cassie's lawsuit was the tip of the iceberg, because Puff Daddy, aka Lube Master 3000, was already facing several other cases for exactly the same type of behavior. And front and center of these allegations were P. Baby Oil Diddy's freak-off parties. For both legal reasons and to protect their reputations, it has become incredibly difficult to get solid details on what exactly went on at these freak-off parties from those who attended.
Of course.
But it doesn't take much imagination when there are literally 1,000 bottles of lube and baby oil involved.
Exactly.
Odds are, with that much lubricant to make things nice and slippery, Diddy and his guests were not hosting a chess club. Some leaks have emerged, though, painting a sordid picture of Combs' freak-off parties. Allegedly, they involved multi-day-long marathons of physical debauchery, with P. Diddy, aka Slip Daddy, flying in sex workers specifically for the events. That particular allegation seems to have some basis in reality, as amongst the many charges Diddy seems unable to slip out of are related to sex trafficking across state lines, for which he is being prosecuted under the infamous Mann Act. Allegedly, Diddy's flesh fests would begin after his famous white parties, which would attract major celebrities such as Leonardo DiCaprio and
man.
Mariah Carey.
Man.
However, after
I ain't gonna lie, something gives me that Leonardo DiCaprio. I don't know, dude. Like I don't mean to say this in any type of bad way, but if there's one person I feel like that would be deep in, it'd be him. What? Only dates girls under 26?
famous white parties, which would attract major celebrities such as Leonardo DiCaprio and Mariah Carey. However, after the A-listers left,
Under 24?
Diddy would put on a completely different show for a select group of friends. Michael Kaplan of the New York Post, who broke details on freak-offs, reported that Diddy would lure in women whom he was personally managing or had met at various adult clubs, along with sex workers.
Makes sense.
Using either drugs, money, or power over their career, Diddy forced the women to participate. Afterwards, to
Jesus
ensure
Christ.
their silence, he would use video footage taken at the events as blackmail leverage or simply threaten to ruin their career. Offs had other surprises of their own. According to a well-placed drug dealer who was invited to one of these events, male rappers would engage in acts with each other as well, including some very high-profile and well-known talent whose names have not come to the spotlight yet. However, for any fan of the Boondocks, this type of behavior has long been an open secret amongst the hip-hop community. Heavy security would ensure complete privacy, and only people personally invited by Combs were allowed to enter. Threats of violence, drug...
You think that list gonna come out? That list never coming out, huh? I don't think they dropping that list, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't think we're ever gonna see it, man.
addiction and blackmail were all used to ensure complete secrecy, as well as a healthy amount of payouts for at least some individuals, such as Cassie. Even if guests wanted to leave, the sheer amount of personal lubricant flooding the party space would have made that difficult. There's also been no publicly released footage or any photos from
That's
any
what I'm
of these
saying.
freak-off parties.
Come on now. Diddy definitely recorded them damn freak-offs for proof in case anything happened. And you're saying there's nothing that you guys found to leak? I just don't believe it.
Any of these freak-off parties, though low-effort media has been using old clips or photos from legitimate white parties that Diddy hosted in their place as clickbait. Allegations that celebrities like Kevin Hart, Leonardo DiCaprio, or Beyonce attended these parties are unproven and rely entirely on photos and videos of them at known white parties. Combs is, at the time of writing, behind bars at the Metropolitan Detention Center after being labeled a flight risk.
Is he?
As federal raids against his U.S. homes were being carried out back in March, Diddy had taken his private plane to Antigua in the Caribbean. Thinking the situation over, he decided to return and was subsequently denied bail requests. Commenting on the discovery of 1,000 bottles of lubricant in one of his homes, Diddy, through his lawyer, wanted it to be clear that the presence of over 90 gallons of lube and baby oil was not, quote, as nefarious as it seemed.
When are you gonna watch the new Mr. Beast vid?
Probably do it with Chinenye, as we usually do, right? He's coming through tomorrow, if that's cool. about the baby oil. If I'm being just for real, if I'm just keeping it a buck, if everybody consented, right? If everybody was having a good time, there was no foul play, nigga, you could have 100 million bottles of baby oil doing a freak off, and quite sure it's freaky, but no one's giving a. But seeing that you were a dog is what makes this crazy. You know what I'm saying? Seeing that you were a dog, drugging people, making them do it against their will, like using power, recording. That's what made this add-on seem even crazier. It was like, Jesus Christ.
Through his lawyer, wanted it to be clear that the presence of over 90 gallons of lube and baby oil was not, quote, as nefarious as it seemed. Because who doesn't have a commercial-sized aquarium's worth of personal lubricant for various needs in their home? Sean Slippery Combs is facing some serious jail time for the charges against him, even as the details of freak-off parties remain tightly under wraps by federal prosecutors. At a minimum, Combs faces 15 years in prison, though it's possible he could spend the minimum. Freak-off parties remain tightly under wraps by federal prosecutors. At a minimum, Combs faces 15 years in prison, though it's possible he could spend the rest of his life in prison if the federal sex trafficking charges are proven, along with a $250,000 fine. The real question is, how do federal authorities hope to keep a man behind bars who has spent so much of his life steeped in gallons and gallons of personal lubricant?
Nigga, how many times they gonna throw the fucking baby oil in there?